दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत।
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Bhattacharjya Express, Hazlewood Station, Netaji Bhavan.
It is here, that last day, the last day of the league. I can't believe it's over. It started, it stopped, it went on. It's one of the longest seasons ever. But it still kind of feels like, oh my God, how did the end come so soon? But right now, we are just beginning the show. Lots of excitement to come today. This is Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me,
Why are you sounding like you're in a bidai or something?
it is a bidai, sir. It is the end.
Why are you sounding like the father in those old traditional movies about to tear coming down?
I play the
like,
Shehnai or something?
Do it, do
like
it. I want you to play the Shehnai.
नहीं, नहीं.
I want you to do this. Now that you offered.
ना ना बिस्मिल्लाह भाई है ना हम लोग क्या करें उसका his tapes have lasted us for centuries you know.
Meri Lado. That's all I remember of this song. Formally, I'd like to welcome Mr. Harsha Bhogle and Mr. Joy Bhattacharjya to the show. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello जी.
Hello, how are you?
सब कुशल मंगल.
जब जी सब मंगल को तो सब कुशल मंगल ही रहता है हमारा ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है.
आज मंगल ही है ना?
Yes, absolutely.
And I used to work for Kushal when I was at the football federation with FIFA.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there was a Kushal there. He also knows that Kushal.
Yeah.
He used to work with the Kushal as well.
I remember Kushal Da.
Yeah.
I just took a guess.
Actually, you didn't. You're 2/3 correct. His name is
Dev.
Kushal Das.
Oh, Das is it. I thought Dev. Okay, हाँ.
Close, very
Yeah,
close.
so Kushal Da will get you 2/3 points.
Hey, I tell you something. 66.6 is better than I've done in anything else in life, including all my exams.
If I
all the
got
guessing game.
66.6% on the
Guessing game?
on the guessing game,
You will win 3 seasons in one go.
I would be running around celebrating, not quite eurekaing, but I'd be.
Before we start, since you were not here, I'd like to show you the guessing game charts.
No.
Just in the beginning.
No.
Let me show you because
No.
it's the last day we do things differently.
No.
Please, there you go. Just
What would life be without Michael Vaughan?
I held on to him very dearly.
He's the kindest man in the world.
and you know
And he's a former English captain, so he gives us a lot of credibility there.
he was supposed to come back and then we had a break in the tournament and he hasn't, which means that he has stayed at the. But the problem is that he hasn't played enough number of games to qualify for the game.
No,
So
no,
we'll
no,
have to
no,
remove
no.
him.
You can't change the rules now on us.
But it's true.
He's
There's
the
a-
only one who's saving us right now. You can't change the rules now.
No, there is a 15 game minimum. 15 guessing game minimum.
Gaurav, you cannot. This is the 11th time you've changed the rules. And he's still not winning. He's like the English. You know, they invent a game, cricket.
Are you above
then they
Murli
change it.
Kartik or below?
Let's have a look. I think I slipped below him yesterday. Because ultimately we are all. It's Murli Kartik's world and we are just living in it. So he is above us all. Pommy will realize that as well, slowly. But yeah, Murli Kartik is basically...
Has Kartik got any more games?
Yeah, he does. He's here with us tomorrow.
Oh, then he has a
Day
chance
after
to
tomorrow.
cross. He has a
Yeah.
chance to cross.
He is. In fact, when aliens land on Earth and say, take us to your leader, we all take him to Murli Kartik. That's what we do. All right, let's talk about Bangalore playing Lucknow today. This is a very, very, very important game for Bangalore. Why? We'll show you the other points table, not as significant as the first one we showed you, but still we'll show you this one. Bangalore needs to win today to get to that coveted number 1 position, right? When they get into... if they win by a big enough margin, they'll get to number 1. They won't care because 1 or 2 is what they care about, Harsha. So
Absolutely.
Even if they finish second, they're okay because that means they're playing the qualifier day after tomorrow.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you're 1 or 2, but you want to be 1 or 2 because history has a very damning indictment. Since the system started, only one team ever has won the IPL from number 3 or 4.
SRH.
Which is SRH. We will not say who they beat today because our entire control room, everyone will charge in because we will not remind them of what happened in 2016.
Because they are RCB fans.
Yes.
Oops. Sorry.
That was
You said it.
So
You
we
said
just
it.
say Ben Cutting, that's all.
That's right.
That was
Man
Ben
of the
Cutting.
finals, Ben Cutting.
But RCB have earned the right to be in the top 2. I mean, let's be honest, they've played excellent cricket. I thought their pre-season prep was excellent. Their backroom staff is very good. They've put together a side full of options. I mean, today, Hazlewood is still not ready. Lungi Ngidi has gone back. They've still got a bowler of the caliber of Nuwan Tushara to go back to. They lose Tim David. They've got a player out of form, but of the caliber of Liam Livingston available to them. So it's a well-constructed team. It's a team that's played well. I think they deserve to be in the top 2.
That is true. They absolutely deserve to be there. But is just that little element of luck where they've come towards the end. These are must-win games. You're going into the qualifiers, and such important cogs of your wheels, cogs of your wheel are not there. Their captain Rajat Patidar, right? So he's obviously troubled with something, which is why Jitesh is captaining today. That means that Patidar will not field much like the last game. He'll be an impact sub. Then Tim David pulling up with that hamstring last time. Josh Hazlewood, who thankfully has come back. They found his baggage, but I don't think he's playing today, but he'll be ready. Just these small things not going their way. I think especially Tim David.
Especially Tim David, but he's absolutely right. I mean, the chances that you have a guy like Liam Livingstone, who's not got off a flight. Liam Livingstone started playing, and most of the first 5 matches he was playing first 11.
Yeah.
After that he gets dropped and he gets out of form. But he's been there the whole time. He's seen what's happening. He's a top international pro. And to have an option like him is good. It's never going to be the same as Tim David because Tim David's been playing. There's a certain flow. But if you were saying that if Tim David was 100%, that drop-off is not very much because you have somebody who's ready, who's been there. He's not just got off a plane and he's getting onto the field. Yeah. And I think, again, Liam Livingstone is a seasoned international player. He plays T20 leagues around the world, plays for England. Very, very useful cricketer, more than useful. Yeah. And you could think about it. If Tim David and him were to compete for positions at some point in the start of the season, you would have said that Liam Livingstone is ahead.
So, well, they're playing against a team. That team is also missing someone very important because Markram has gone back. Yes. And he's kind of been a very significant part of their run construction on the innings.
Because him and Marsh have been a fabulous opening partnership. Not quite Warner and Bairstow. To me, you have an overseas partner, you would think Warner and Bairstow. Yeah. But they've done their job. Mitch Marsh has come back. I've seen Mitch Marsh take apart the best of attacks. So Mitch Marsh, if he's in form, he's taking apart any attack.
Yeah.
So him and Puran. But no Markram will be a big miss. They'll have to find somebody else to take their place. Remember, they started off with hardly any overseas players. And they've got this one guy who even South Africa said, okay, he's there. Let's put him in a one-day game. And he made 150. Britska.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether they look at someone like a Britska to open the batting. His T20 record isn't great, but...
Wouldn't they get Miller in if they have one foreign slot available?
That is what we were thinking. That they'd get Miller in and actually let Rishabh open.
What do you think about that?
Opportunity.
Yeah. Or there's Aryan Juyal, who I think he plays over there. But it might be a really good thing because every time I meet Rishabh, I said, "Aapka favorite number kaun sa hai?" And he smiled. I said, "Ye sab to open karna chahte hain."
Yeah.
So it might be interesting. He played a couple of shots last time that would suggest that maybe there was a burden or whatever is gone. But if he's going to open and if he's going to get a move on, I suspect deep down somewhere RCB fans would say we want to win, but we'd like to see Rishabh Pant bat.
Yeah, this is what we were discussing last night. You get Rishabh Pant to open with Mitchell Marsh, still play Puran at 3. Then you have Badoni at 4, you can get Miller in at 5.
And Samad at 6.
Or the other way around, and Samad at 6. So you don't have to make too many changes. You just make the one change, a foreign player for a foreign player. And that way, Rishabh also gets to play in a position which he has played in for India. He's opened in a T20 for India.
And if you remember his start, he was always batting. The early Rishabh seasons when he came on as this flaming incandescent talent was always 2015, 16, 17. Is always top 3. His big innings were there. And I think that's the point that, and he's so right, what Harsha said. If he said it to Harsha that opening 1, 2 and 3 are the places you want to bat in T20 cricket. Everything else is
I fear they're not playing him though, aren't they? I fear they're not playing Miller. I'm just looking down the app. I fear they're not playing Miller. I fear they're playing Britska.
Okay.
So maybe the Miller ship has sailed in their minds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because typically if you have a player like Miller who's done it so many times, on a day like this you back him for 2 reasons. One is because he can come and win you the game. And second, in all fairness, you tell him, show us why we should retain you next year.
Yeah, but maybe then, that's a good point. A team that's eliminated, you go, all right, listen, we've probably thought that David Miller's at the end of his rope with us, or end of his career with us, utility with us. We're not going to retain him next year. We've got this young player. Let's throw him in a game that is of no... Let's face it, this game is of no significance to Lucknow, right? They can get 2 points, but for them to try a new player...
Fair point, but I think to give your captain an opportunity to get a real chance to sort of clear his mind before next season, which is going to be a big season, would have been a good idea. Because you're not gaining any brownie points. You're saying that Britska is a talented bat. Britska, anyway, I wouldn't let go halfway through a season. I'd retain him for next year simply because he's He's an upcoming player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
even the SA20 Joy's record isn't great. I mean, he might prove us all wrong and go out and play a flyer. So
yeah, he has that one huge innings. That's it.
It's a sign of the times. People from South Africa are coming in and doing well. There's something happened in South Africa last 2-3 years. I think is the launch of the SA20.
Yeah.
Which, much like giving young Indians a chance, has started to give South Africans a chance. And you're seeing the Rickletons, the Brevises, the Stubbs, and everyone becoming better and better players. So maybe he'll come and do well. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I would still have gone Miller.
But Lucknow haven't. On the other side, when you talk about Bangalore, we've been talking about all their players. But the one player who, remember, was a great part of Kolkata winning last season.
Q tears of joy.
Q tears of joy.
No, Q tears.
Tears.
Joy.
Of joy.
Not tears of joy, but tears emanating out of Joy's eyes.
Tears of joy.
Of all KKR people, I just want to say, you guys may talk about what you want to. These two teams, none of them have won a championship. 13 years ago, on this day, we won a championship.
That's right. And you're there in all the pictures. I see ya.
The advantage of white hair.
Yeah, I see you.
Always shown.
And thankfully, when they put that picture, they don't take away people who are not in the team. Right now. Right?
True that.
I got to call it, man. We know we like a lot of teams. We like every team. They got friends in every team. But when something just doesn't sit right, it doesn't sit right. Yeah. And I think just the picture posted by the Knight Riders yesterday
was not a good idea. I think they tried to make it up
in it, Salt not in it, Stark not in it.
Yeah, they tried to make up for it today, but it was just, I mean, it was, you won, these are great memories, these are fantastic memories, and they were an essential part of it.
Yeah, they were.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
So, and without them, it wouldn't have happened. Without Salt, it wouldn't have happened.
It's not war propaganda that you just try and delete reality.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Basically, that's what's happening now in the world anyway. All right, we won't go into socio-political aspects of the world. We will just go on to Salt, one who was an integral part of the Knight Riders winning last year and has been an integral part of Bangalore's campaign this year. And he's our player to watch out for, powered by Vida. That's right. He is as powerful as the Vida is, and of course has the trust of Hero, and Salt has the trust of Bangalore fans. More importantly, has the trust of Virat Kohli, because that partnership again.
I was waiting for you to come to the hero.
That's right. The hero of Bangalore, Virat Kohli, because that's really important as well in terms of that partnership, because it truly is a partnership. The way whoever plays with Virat up top, how they construct it, kind of complementing each other.
Because if you see the way that team is structured, the team is structured to leave Virat Kohli alone. The fact that he has come out, he's batting 150, 160, he's playing all those shots, a different story. But once Salt tees off at the start, it just makes it easier for everybody else. So whether whoever's coming in at 3 or 4 or 5, it just becomes a lot easier for them if Salt is teeing off. So if you get 65, 70 in the power play because Salt has given you 40 in no time, then it's like you're already 20 meters ahead in the race. Now you don't have to run your 100 meters in 9.8. It's okay if you run it in 10.
Yeah.
Because you're still ahead, but you want to be safe. So Salt plays a big part in the overall cast.
Yeah.
It's like saying, hey, hero, but here is the hero's, or the other actor who's playing a lead role, but...
The parallel lead?
Find me a parallel.
Parallel lead?
Or sidekick? Which one does he want?
No,
which one do you want?
No, parallel lead.
Do you want side hero? Do you want side hero or parallel?
He wants multi-starrer.
Multi-starrer.
This is Sholay. This is not,
This is Sholay. No, this is Sholay, one dice, sir. So Amar Akbar Anthony. 3 heroes. Naseeb, 3 heroes. Mahan, 3 heroes, same person. Same person. But there's another thing with Salt Joy is that there's that powerful motor, just much like the Vida, it's got that powerful motor.
Absolutely. And why such a powerful motor? Firstly, you were born in Wales, Bodil Vidan, which would have been pronounced well by Alan Wilkins. But after that, here's an Englishman who, like Jofra Archer, where has he grown up with his cricket? In Barbados. I mean, they hit the ball for pleasure. They hit the ball, they have their natural flair with it. And I think that gives you so much out there. I mean, look at it then, 301 runs. And these 2 seasons, brilliant strike rate. Take it, 182, 172. And in those days, in 2024, without him, Narayan does not play that much. They got 7 proper 50-plus starts. And I think what Salt has given you, he's given the English team as well. I mean, he scored 2 T20 international centuries. Nobody's got 2 20 international centuries for England. That 498 run that England scored, which is still a record in ODI cricket, Salt got one of the centuries. He tees it up. So he's the guy who starts off and gives his team, the most important thing is when they chase, he breaks the back of chases.
Yeah.
Not exactly what he said. You get a 50, 16, 25, 26 balls, you've broken the back of the chase. Now everyone can play safe and still get there.
Another thing that has happened is that last year, it's a bit of bad luck, misfortune for Salt, where last year he had to leave and he wasn't playing the final week.
Yeah.
This time, he's not in that one-day squad, right? After the champions
due
decided...
any minute, though.
Sorry?
There's a baby due any minute.
Yeah.
For Phil Salt. So I don't know how he is going to react. Is he going to say, great opportunity to win with RCB, I'll go a week later? Is he going to say, I think a lot of RCB fans are on the tenterhooks because I met him in the last game in Lucknow and I said, baby due, and his face lit up. He said, yes, around now. So we'll wait and see. From RCB's point of view, you'll just have to tell his lady, hang on for a while.
I'm just thinking that, he would have played such an integral part. I'm sure he would have loved to be there in that kind of trophy-winning, moment.
And he deserves to be.
And maybe he's not in the picture because he was not there last week. It was like, he's not there. No, but jokes apart, he'd want to be there with his team. And maybe he'll just think that, I guess the baby won't know anyway.
But also
for the first 5-6 days.
Also, it comes naturally to him. Playing the way he does comes absolutely naturally to him. That's his temperament. That's who he is as a person. That's how he tees off. That's how he plays, and that's why he's such a plus. I think they're going to lose David, but losing Salt would be a far bigger blow than losing a David, because you've got a Romario or a Livingston for David. Suddenly you lose Salt. You don't have Bethel either, who stood in for Salt.
Yeah.
By the way, they like looking for Englishmen from Barbados. Bethel's from Barbados too.
Oh, wow.
Bethel is a proper Barbadian.
Yeah.
Salt only studied there and came back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Salt is huge for RCB.
Yeah, well, and he has been adding a lot of flavor to Bangalore's
No,
campaign.
you did.
Yeah,
He had to.
Just one. I just had to give one.
He had to.
I was choosing between that and this. Right? You know this one, right? Mr. Bhogle does not.
No.
Tell Mr. Bhogle. This? No? You don't? No. The elbow has to be out. And when you salt it, it has to fall from your elbow and go.
Ah.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
I'll tell him later. Teach him, because what you were doing right now was completely different. Well, that was our player to watch out for, powered by Vida. We're talking about Phil Salt. Is powerful and punchy, much like the Vida. All right. There's been a bit of confusion about the Bangalore team, which is why we've not brought it out now, because Rajat Patidar was supposed to be the impact sub for batting, but the team that was sent from the stadium had Patidar in the bowling 11. So has that been cleared now? Confusion is still not. Oh, it has been cleared now, I think.
Confusion is solution. Kuch pata nahi. Correct.
Oh, let's have a look now. We've got it clear.
Okay.
Please stop singing. We have it clear now. There's Phil Salt, Virat Kohli, Mayank Agarwal, Jitesh Sharma, Liam Livingston, Romario Shepherd, Krunal Pandya, Bhuvi, Suyash, Nuwan Tushara, and Yash Dayal, which means that Rajat Patidar will come in. And as you had told us, Harsha, that there's no Lungi and Giri, there's Nuwan Tushara playing.
Very few teams can lose a Hazlewood and an Ngidi and have a player of the caliber of Nuwan Tushara coming in. That is why I said at the start, they picked very well. Very few teams can lose a player of the quality of Tim David and still have Liam Livingston coming in.
Yeah.
They've lost Bethel, they've got Salt in. So that is why I thought this team was very well structured. Tushara, another of those slingy Sri Lankan bowlers, but he can work up a decent pace, and he's a serious bowler. He plays around the world. I thought he had a sort of mixed bag with Mumbai.
Yeah.
But he's a proper bowler.
We spoke yesterday about Josh Hazlewood coming and, all the RCB fans standing with the thali outside and him running in like Shah Rukh off the helicopter. Yeah, but he's not playing today. It's such an important game. Is there some... Because I don't think it could be jet lag. They'd still play him if he had jet lag. That would not be an issue. I'm sure he'd want to play considering how important this game is in the scheme of things.
Yeah, look, obviously two things. One is they know that their replacement is good enough. They feel Tushara is good enough to do it for them. And two is that I think they have further ambitions. That, we can win this game without him. We really need him for Qualifier 1.
Okay.
I think that's how they're looking at it, because yes, he is an essential part of it. Had this been, my suspicion is, had this been a match just to qualify, to get in, they might have played him.
My gut feel is, look, these physios, the national team physios and the franchise physios work very closely together.
Constantly in touch.
It's a very good bond, and I think it's very good for both the IPL and for the national teams. So it could well be that the message coming from there is, look, Hazlewood's shoulder is looking good. He's had a bit of bowling. Do you think you could give him another day or two just to get that shoulder back in again? Maybe he can bowl a little bit on the side so that he'll be ready to play later on. He's got a World Test Championship final, and RCB would have said, yeah, okay, that's my gut feel.
Well, could be that.
Because Australia wanted Hazlewood here.
Yeah.
Australia did not want Hazlewood back in Australia because they thought the best training and the best physio, everything would be available here. If he had to, for example, slowly up his workload, which is the reason Shami has not been picked in India, but if he slowly had to up his workload from 4 to 20, the facilities he would get here would be better than the facilities he would get at this point in Australia because it's off-season. So Australia wanted to send Hazlewood back here.
Yeah.
So maybe the word is just, let's give it just a day or two and have him ready for the playoffs.
I can tell you that there's a lot of people in Bangalore who are suddenly saying that Australia is their favorite country because Australia was happy to send him. They are very, very happy with that. Let's look at the impact subs for both teams and see. I think the choice pretty much clear here will be Rajat Patidar, who's going to come in. He's not going to field, so therefore he's not captaining today. And Jitesh is. And then when we look at the Lucknow impact subs, they of course will be getting a bowler in. Which one of those bowlers will it be? Could be any one of them actually.
I mean, interestingly, that for the third match in a row, Vishnu is ending up in the sort of...
It's been a season to forget for him, so.
Yeah. Will they play him? They have
Digvesh.
Yeah. No, they're batting first. And Bangalore are batting first, aren't they?
No. Bangalore's chasing.
Bangalore's chasing, sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Lucknow is batting first.
Yeah.
They have an idea. They've got 20 overs to decide whether they want a seamer or a spinner.
Let's look at their team again because they have Digvesh Rathi, I know.
Yeah. Correct.
Let's look at their other bowlers.
They have Shahbaz Ahmed, so that's the other left arm.
So they've got four bowlers.
Avesh, Velourur. Oh, they're going to get a pacer because they only have 2 quicks. No, they got Himmat.
Orok, Avesh. No, Himmat is a problem. He'll bat.
He'll bat.
They've got 2 spinners already. They'll pick a quick.
So Avesh and Orok are the only
pick a
2
quick.
Yeah,
quicks
really.
they have.
I mean, Himmat
So
bowls
Prince will
medium
come
pace,
in.
but he's certainly not, I mean, at this level to bowl.
It's kind of Ramandeep pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll definitely, probably going, they had Akash Singh, the left-hander, opening some time back, or they might still throw faith in Prince.
I really like Prince. Again, a Delhi product of the Delhi Premier League.
I mean, just because you live in Gurgaon, I mean, everything is right about it.
No, it's amazing the number of players who've come out. Priyan Sharia, Digvesh
They're
Rathi.
coming out everywhere.
Also in his,
MP, UP, Delhi, fantastic.
Also in his misspent youth, he spent a lot of time at Prince Pan Bhandar in GK.
No, but the funniest
Right?
part of it
Prince
is
Pan?
yesterday I spoke about Digvesh Rathi being happy about, the fine, whatever fine he's got, about 10 lakhs of his 30 lakhs. He'll give it.
But he had got 50 lakhs fine before he qualified.
Yeah.
So he's already.
Yeah, but basically we said that he'll buy
had
his...
enough money to buy a Thar after
Thar.
that and drive on the streets. After which Karthik got very angry because I discovered he actually drives a Thar in.
He's one of those who goes around saying, "Tu janta mera baap kaun hai, tu janta mera baap kaun hai." Murli Karthik is a different person when he leaves here. He really is.
Yes.
But of course, nobody should speak ill of our leader. All right. We're talking about another leader right now, Lucknow's leader. When we talk about Rishabh Pant, he has had, he had an auction to remember, spoken about the most. There was no surprise there. But the season has, Harsha, come as a bit of a surprise to everyone, including him, I'm sure, and all his fans.
I feel for him because they started off thinking they have a good bowling side. And one by one, it's almost as though the trapdoor had been left open and people were just falling out of it.
Yeah, straight into the casualty ward.
They paid a lot of money for Mayank Yadav, not available. They had a lot of hopes on Mohsin Khan. Mohsin Khan is now 3 years ago, was this bright young guy, but he's hardly played ever since. They lost Akash Deep. So suddenly they're looking, the Shardul Thakur comes in, they're trying to see who's going to bowl for us here. So it wasn't easy starting out, so it was a huge challenge for him. And his own form didn't help. Sometimes when you're out of form, you find it very difficult to demand performance. You should be able to separate your role as captain and your role as batter. I'm not scoring runs, but hang on, I'm still the captain of this side. And I've got to demand performance for us to win. But somehow there's a voice in the back of your mind saying, if someone says, "Aap kya kar rahe hain?" So it's very difficult for someone who's not playing well to demand performance and be a leader. I don't know Rishabh well enough to know whether that would have affected him. but it could be a factor. I don't know if the coach, therefore, was taking over that role. Sometimes the captain's beleaguered. If he's struggling, the coach then takes over that role. I don't know if Justin Langer was taking over that role. So,
yeah, I mean, first thing, I mean, if you see his captaincy record, essentially that first season he was 10-6. After that, the next 3 years, it's been a middling captaincy record. Also, remember, this is a set team. I mean, Delhi is a set team created by Ricky Ponting, put together, which reached its peak at a time when Prithvi Shaw and the others used to demolish attacks up front and they had the ball. Then they just went into slow mediocrity. Now, two things. He has never really constructed a team. Even this team, he hasn't constructed because he's been picked up at the auction. Therefore, the pieces that he's been given are not pieces that he has chosen.
Yeah, he hasn't had much of a say in it.
He hasn't had much of a say in it. And I'm not yet sure whether I think he'll be a good leader of men. I think he has enough game sense to be able to play the game out there and know what fielding change to effect or what bowling change to effect. I don't know whether for an IPL captain, there is one which is a tactical captain, the kind of things we are talking about. There's a strategic captain saying, okay, this is what my team is about. So I don't know how good or bad because he's never had to do that. Ricky Ponting did it for him here also. The thinking of the team composition was put together by Justin Langer and Zahir Khan and that crew.
Yeah.
And I am not a believer in the fact that you give a captain your most expensive player, you're playing him in a position that he really doesn't want to play. Because that's a fact of the matter. That whether you like it or not, the best position for Rishabh Pant is 1, 2 and 3. And you're not playing him there.
My issue is that it's somebody that they've coveted very publicly, Harsha. They have said that very publicly, the owners come out and said that we really wanted him. We were willing to give him any amount of money, which means that you really value him. You want to optimize him. Now, why would I go after a person making the most expensive person, most coveted person in the auction, and then not let him bat in the position he wants to bat in? So that seems counterintuitive to me. I don't feel like Rishabh, they'd say no to Rishabh if he actually said, I want to.
I will bat at 3. Now, the 3 best middle order batters in world T20 cricket at the moment are Pooran, Suryakumar Yadav and Heinrich Klaasen. And maybe in that order in batting positions. And the moment Pooran goes up the order, he's batted brilliantly. So the question I don't think was whether Rishabh bats at 3 ahead of Pooran, because Pooran's credentials are greater, but whether he bats ahead of Markram.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, Markram batted 4 for a long time at Sunrisers.
Absolutely. He's batted for South Africa, for everyone.
Correct.
4, yeah.
So that was the call that they had taken.
Sir, we spoke, I'm really sorry to interrupt, just want to add to it. The 3 of us have discussed this exact thing on the 20th of March when we were constructing that 11, where we said Rishabh to open Markram at 4.
Yeah.
And even today, he's not opening. So unless there's been... Look, he's the captain. You don't overrule a captain in the batting position that he favors. If he says, I want to bat at that number, he bats at that number. Because whatever you might say, whether Ponting is the coach or Langer is the coach, it is always the captain's team. And it's interesting what Shreyas said to me at the presentation yesterday. He leaves it to me when we get onto the field.
Yeah.
So when you get onto the field, it has to be Rishabh Pant's team. So I'm a little surprised because if he wanted to bat up, I don't think they could have stopped him.
But you yourself are saying that 1, 2, 3 bat karna chahiye.
Yeah, so I would have thought that he would have started off the season opening the batting and only dropped down if it wasn't working for him.
Yeah.
That is what I would have thought.
Yeah, and it's still not happened today. So, क्या है ना कि दिल के अरमा आंसुओं में बह गए. हमारे, ours. It was our. हमारे अरमान थे ये.
वो अगर एक एंड डालो तो पाकिस्तान के प्लेयर बन जाते हैं. सलमा आगा और सलमान आगा. खराब जोक. Edit थोड़ा.
Live में क्या edit करेंगे?
Context. So Salma Agha is like a blast from the past. You know, I suddenly remember the song. Wow.
Sir, I just want to tell you.
No, don't.
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 Average, I just want to say. The average age of our viewer, given that.
I'll just see you in a little.
No. I just want to tell those people that to understand. It's a very good joke, but to understand it, just ask your nearest grandparent. Right? If you have a grandparent around, just ask them. They'll be able to explain the
I'll tell you something that actually happened to me on air once. I'm doing Hindi commentary on Sony and there's a beautiful shot play. And you know, sometimes the sound of the bat comes like I used to say when Lakshman was batting, it's like plucking a sitar. Beautiful. And I said,
did you reference Khayyam Sahab?
No. I said, Jaise Mannade ne sahi sur pakda.
Oh.
And I looked around. I said, Bete, Change your metaphors. Change your metaphors.
यहाँ पे people know Green Day, they don't know Manna Day. That's true. All right, well, Lucknow is batting first. The match is happening in Lucknow, in that ground. How does that ground play? You'll tell us.
This particular pitch is a bit different. The pitch they played on the other day when the Sunrisers hammered RCB.
Yeah.
It's peculiar because that was RCB's home game in Lucknow. This is RCB's away game in Lucknow.
So they've moved the pitch.
No,
so
they
just feel like they're going somewhere else.
But they've just moved dressing rooms maybe. But this pitch was a 160 pitch the last time they played.
Okay.
So I think they're fielding first because I don't think they'll be completely certain what kind of surface it is. Last game they conceded 230. They were on course to get there. And then that trapdoor that was there for LSG, that trapdoor was all the RCB players fell into.
But it's just so tough, you know, the minute you go beyond 2-5, 2-10,
it's very difficult.
Psychological.
Very difficult. Yeah. So I think they want to bowl because they're not sure what kind of surface it is. It might well be a 165, 170 pitch, you know. So it's what they call a mixed pitch, part red, part black. It's like when you don't know what kind of dal to make, you mix all the dals.
Oh, yeah, that's right. अब स्कोर क्या guess करें sir? How do we do this?
Just guessing game पूछ रहे हो?
Okay, we'll think.
Why don't you ask the first person who has no fear of losing?
That is true. But before that, we will ask the joy factor question because I have no fear of losing that because I've never won it.
Okay. Here's one that I'm sure you know. And
no pressure.
Okay, no. There are only 3 Indians in a specific Test cricket list. 2 of them are ML Jayasinghe and Cheteshwar Pujara. Name the third. And secondly, my producer specifically said that Jayasinghe's full name is your...
Modganhalli Lakshminarasu Jayasinghe.
Are perfect.
Amazing.
I love it.
But in Hyderabad, we used to call him Maratpalli Lakshminarasu Jayasinghe because his cricket team was MCC, Maratpalli Cricket Club.
Sir, I cannot tell you, by the way, how excited I am because I know the answer to this.
I know you know the answer, so does he.
I think I know the answer.
No, and you know how I remember the answer to this. If I tell you, you will also, you have to ask at least your parents about this reference. From a show called That's Cricket.
Wow.
This is a question that came on That's Cricket in the late 80s.
Plagiarism. Joy ne sawal churaya.
I've copied this question from an episode of That's Cricket.
Breaking news.
In 1991.
Okay, I have a question for you. Cheteshwar Pujara, there his name is 2017. That is how many years after 91?
Good comeback.
26 years.
Yeah. How at that time That's Cricket had seen the future? I knew it was a show from the future.
I know, if Simpsons can see the future and Trump becomes president, why not?
So can they. I'm dying to give people a clue.
Yeah, Simpsons had an episode where Trump was president.
No, 1 second.
1, 2.
Okay. Not just one. In fact, we're going to, just right after this, we're going to show you at least 8 or 9 references that the Simpsons have got correct about the future.
Is that why it's a comedy show? Oh, sorry.
Is that? It's not. Trust me, it's not a comedy show.
No, he's talking about the other comedy show right now.
Which one? The comedy show that is running the free world.
Yeah, the best
time. Okay, the big Cheeto. All right, well, let's give our score guesses before we scoot out of here.
I thought you were asking me first.
Yeah, he's asking for the man who knows no fear. Oh, okay.
The man who knows no fear. Please answer, sir. I'm doing my own rituals.
176.
Who's batting?
Lucknow. कहाँ गया?
No, because they're in Lucknow, RCB won the toss and said, Huzur, pehle aap.
Pehle aap. Very right.
191.
176, 191.
225?
I'm just thinking going high. Yeah. No, I'll go 188.
I thought you had a mind of your own.
See, you can't win these. Either you've gone too high, too low, you've gone too high. Moment you're the third person to answer, you're bugger.
That was a good sledge. Or rather, enjoy that. I really did. All right, we'll come back after the 10th over on Cricbuzz Combox. So do join us then. Right now, I'd like to thank Harsha and Joy. They are going to be here with us all evening. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You are watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. See you in a bit. Goodbye.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत लखनऊ जंक्शन
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ
Hyderabad Bhattacharjya Express, Harsha Station, Netaji Bhagle.